Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about this new Lil Uzi Vert album, Eternal Atake. Wow. Whoa. Woo! Uzi fans have been waiting, but Eternal Atake is a real thing. It has finally landed. So this is the newest full-length album from rapper Lil Uzi Vert, which has been long teased and delayed. And for a minute there, it kind of seemed like Uzi was going to be quitting music altogether, maybe to get out of his label deal or something. And now that I've finally had time to sit down with the full project, I can honestly say that I'm kind of surprised, as I think this is possibly the best Lil Uzi Vert project to date, and there actually are some tracks on here that could even convert skeptics. Now, I've never really been too huge on Uzi's music. His discography is extremely hit or miss, but when he does hit, it can be pretty fun. And nowadays, it's like him and Playboi Carti are starting to become a lot more like one another, borrowing from each other. And honestly, in the world of like earworm trap bangers, those two are at the top of the game right now, in my opinion. But if Playboi Carti's kind of like sipping on a fine wine, then Lil Uzi Vert's like slamming a monster. Cause Uzi's music overall severely lacks substance, and the like hot topic aesthetic that surrounds it is usually a stopper for a lot of music listeners, or at least a lot of them that I talk to. However, Eternal Atake over here is his most consistent project to date, and what's surprising is there's only one feature on this project, so this is all Uzi here. And yeah, I know there is a deluxe edition that's supposed to be coming out of this very soon that does have a lot more features and bonus tracks, but for now I'm just going to review the project as is. And taking a look at the cover art, you'll see that there is actually a theme going on here of like aliens and UFOs. Uzi actually references this in the opening of the track Venetia when he talks about how he's not planet Earth. And there are also some random skits that are layered into a couple of the tracks at the end of them that narrate Uzi being abducted by a UFO or being trapped inside one. And a theme or a narrative running throughout a project is something that Uzi has never really committed to, and on this he kinda does, because a lot of the lyrical content is mind-numbing as you'd expect. It's still all sex, infidelity, drugs, and money, but I mean, it should be no secret by now that listening to a Lil Uzi Vert project, you're not going to it for lyrics. And a couple spots in this record actually did make me laugh, but also a lot of it feels a lot out of pocket. It always was and still is about the vibe with Lil Uzi, and on this new album over here, it does kind of remind me of a lot of the same vibes you get from Young Thug's So Much Fun. It is the same blueprint for a lot of these tracks, with some really booming bass hits and some endearing looped melodies, but the instrumentals on this project are a little more beefed up in comparison. Overall, though, this project doesn't necessarily offer something brand new for Uzi, but more of like a refinement of his sound. The track Prices is a good example. Really great beat on this one that actually samples Travis Scott's Way Back, but I do like how the sample is applied a little bit more on here. Also, tracks like Bust Me, Homecoming, Chrome Heart Tags, and Venetia all work for me as well. Just enjoyable vibes on these tracks, and the melodies that are looped throughout are pretty great, I can't deny them. Now, not all of these tracks are golden though, and there is a huge drop-off in songwriting quality in spots on this album that makes some of these songs feel very long-winded. Like the track Silly Watch, for example. Yes, it is a pretty sinister banger, but the beat is sort of generic, and as hard as this beat goes, and I do appreciate Uzi hitting us with some relentless bars on this track, it just repeats itself and becomes super stale halfway through. And I feel the same about the track You Better Move. This one does have a cooler sounding beat on it with some kind of like alien-like alarms going on, but this beat gets stale like 30 seconds in. And Uzi gives his worst vocal performance on this record overall, I think. And also, another example, the opening track, Baby Pluto, it just takes way too long for the beat to drop. So I mean, I did have a lot of fun with this project. I still do think it is Lil Uzi's best album to date, but what's clear is he's still one of those artists that you can't really take too seriously, I guess. And if you were a longtime fan of Uzi and you were drawn to the more melodic side of that he presents, I mean, you might get blue balls from this one, because yes, the melodies are still there, but they're not nearly as prominent as they used to be in the past. Also, I really like how he incorporated the two singles Futsal Shuffle and That Way as bonus tracks on here, because those are some pretty great singles, and it was kind of a cool surprise that they weren't actually included in the final track list and that you get them as bonus tracks. Makes them a little more fun. So I mean, yeah, I'd say this actually delivered for the most part, which was a surprise to me. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 7 over here on Eternal Atake. Now, there are no physical releases of this project just yet, so I guess keep your eyes peeled in the next year or so, see if he drops a vinyl or something. And if you listen to Eternal Atake, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like down below. And if you want more content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.